Okay, coolio, E4, multiply radical expressions. Radical expressions. All right, so this is a radical expression. Why? Because this is the radicand, and this is the radical sign. This is the radicand, and this is the radical sign, okay? All right, so the radicand is the number under the radical sign, and the radical sign is the radical sign, or square root. You can use it, radical sign or square root. It's like Timmy or Tim, same thing, right? Name might be Timothy, but you can call him Timmy, you can call him Tim, same thing. Radical sign, square root sign, same thing. All right, cool. So let's solve this. Now, this square sign means to multiply it by itself. So that's really like saying multiply 3, radical sign 3 of the square root of 3 by 3. Now notice that 3 is a prime number, but we have to multiply them by themselves, right? Whenever you see the parentheses or you see the dot, it pretty much means the same thing. We're multiplying by itself. All right, so 3 times 3 would be 9. All right, now, if we simplify or we break out into prime numbers, 9, we can divide 9 into a prime number by 3. All right, I just kind of happen to know that off the top of my head. 3 times 3 is 9. So now we have the radical sign and 3 times 3. Now there's really a hidden 2 here, right? You mean you don't see it, but it's really there. You don't see it, but it's really there. And we find the twins and we move the twins in front of the radical sign. And now that the twins become one family, they're the 3 family. So we just move the twins, 3 and a 3, the twins, the 3 family in front. All right, and now we have nothing under a radical sign, which means you can get rid of it, which means that the simplest form of this expression, simplest form is 3. How simple is that? Simplicity, right? All right, let's see if I'm correct. That's right. But I want to show you a trick. Look, you see this square, and this is the square root or the radical sign, right? You see the square, and you see the square root or the radical sign. Well, the square actually gets rid of the radical sign. So the answer was 3 all along. The answer was 3 all along. So once again, if you see like 5, square root of 5, square, this square gets rid of the square root. This square gets rid of the square root. So all we have is 5. Okay, that's going to be helpful for the very next equation. Very next equation, all right? So square root of 2 squared. Now, 2 is already a prime number. So there's really not a whole lot that I can do with it. All right? It's not a lot that I can do. But since it says parentheses, square root of 2, in parentheses, square, that's really like boom times boom. You see how that happens? All right? So now I'm going to multiply 2 times 2, which is the square root of 4. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break the 4 into prime numbers. So we have 4, the prime numbers for 4 would be 2 times 2. So 2 times 2. Does that make sense? Good. So now we have the square root of 2 times 2. We have the twins, and so these twins now go in front of the radical sign. So now we have 2 radical sign, and there's nothing under the radical sign. So all we have is 2. And I tell you what, we can do it the quick way. We can do it the quick way. Let's do it the quick way. All right, because the quick way is the quick way is simple. This 2, this square root gets rid of the radical sign. Square root gets rid of the the square gets rid of the square root. The square got rid of the square root. That leaves us with 2. Our answer, very simply, is 2. Excellent. Okay, so let's do this one. This one is really fun. What? You say it's fun, Mr. Warren? It's not fun. It is fun. It's fun when you know the answer. All right, so square root of 5 times the square root of 2. Okay, so that's going to give me the square root of 10. Now that radical sign looks a little funny, right? Don't you think? I should probably do it again. Okay, radical sign of 10. Now I need to break it into prime numbers. What are the prime numbers? 5 is a prime number, 2 is a prime number. So if I break it into it, it's actually 5 times 2. And so it would be 5 times 2 or 10. All right, so the answer is pretty much the square root of 10. That's going to be the simplest form. All right, so I have the square root sign, 10. All right, submit it. Fantastic. Okay, so let's do one more. All right, one more, uno más. Okay, so check it out. We have the square root of 10 times square root of 5. All right, so 10 times 5 is 50. 50. Okay. And now I'm going to break out 50. I'm going to reduce it to prime numbers. I'm going to prime factor it. All right. So 50 is actually 5 times 10. 10 is not a prime number. 5 is. So I circle my 5. So I'm going to break out 10. 10 is 5 times 2. Now 5 is a prime number. 2 is a prime number. So I can circle my primes. And I'm done. I don't have to factor anymore. So now I'll do 5 times 5 times 2, right? Which is these 3 numbers. 5 times 5 times 2. Now, check this out. I see twins, right? Don't you see the twins? I see the twin 5s. All right, so the twin 5s are going to go out in front of the radical sign, okay? So they'll go out in front of the radical sign, and it'll be 5, the 5 family, radical sign 2. That's the simplest form. That's the simplest form. So it said multiply. I multiplied square root of 10 times square root of 5. Write your answer in simplest form. This is the simplest form, 5 square root 2. So let's type that in. 5, radical sign, 2. Let's see if I'm correct. Keep it up. Good. So now you see exactly what to do. You see exactly what to do. And I don't have to help you anymore because you have all the strategies you need to be successful. You have what you need to succeed. So take care.